after 5 o'clock. Right now, let's head to Montreal West. A special indoor playground for children with special needs is looking for help. It's called Caden's Lighthouse. This is a multi-sensory space in Montreal West that caters to children with autism. It was flooded last month during a very heavy rainstorm and thunderstorm, and so that storm left Caden's Lighthouse with damages totaling more than $225,000. Rachel Ricci joins us. She's the founder and owner of Caden's Lighthouse. Rachel, good afternoon. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me today.
Tell me a little bit about the story behind this place, Caden's Lighthouse. You opened this back in February 2020. What's the story behind this space?
We were seeking spaces for our son Caden that would accommodate his special sensory needs. Everywhere we went in the city was either a little bit too much excitement for him that he couldn't handle, or perhaps underwhelming for him. So he needed a space where he can, get out his energy and play. And he also needed a space to be able to calm down and regulate his feelings. So we created Caden's Lighthouse. And we are the first we opened the first public Snoozland sensory room. And after that, all the parents in the community started bringing their children to enjoy the facility.
Can you describe what the room looks like?
Yes, I can. We're really proud of it. So the first room that we have is a big open space with sensory swings, a climbing wall, a very large ball pit where parents and kids and grandparents would get in there and have fun together. We had special equipment imported from the UK, all Snoozland brand, and the panels had music, they had colors, and it was just a fun experience in the first room. And in the back space was a Snoozland room, which is considered to be a calming sensory room with aromatherapy, bubble tubes, fiber optics, just a very calm room, a projector on the wall that was showing you calm nature, things like the ocean, mountains, the clouds, things where kids can just calm down and feel chill. And then afterwards, they would go in the front and have some fun.
And Rachel, how old was Caden at the time?
And at the time we created the room 22, so he's 12. So
he was around 9.
Yes, exactly.
So
wow, time flies.
Yeah, time flies, especially with the pandemic years in between there, right?
You know it.
They say if you want something done right, do it yourself. You created this yourself while you were looking for a space for your son. How challenging was it to find just a space that your son could enjoy and thrive in?
It was very hard finding the right space because the rent increase, the rent was extremely high around the city. So we had to find something that we could find a little bit on the lower end of the rent. So we can also accommodate families who didn't have a lot of money and that could still come see us. So we didn't have to say no to anyone. So we started helping out a lot of people from all walks of life who would be able to bring their therapists there, who would be able to enjoy the space on a weekly basis. So it wasn't like just, a once in a while treat. It could be something that these parents could incorporate in their child's therapy program.
So a month ago, we had a tornado warning. We had very heavy rainfall and thunderstorms. Your space got flooded. What was the damage like?
It was awful. It just came in so fast. My husband and I were downstairs. Caden had just finished a therapy session with his therapist, and we were hearing all these noises coming from the sink, and we were a little bit confused. My husband thought we poured something down the sink. So what had happened was within seconds, maybe a minute, the water had gushed into the facility and started rising really quickly. And we realized that there was sewage water coming in because the bathrooms I got overwhelmed, the pipes backed up. And then all of our mats were soaked. All of our toys got soaked. We were trying to save whatever we can. but there was it was just coming from everywhere, so we couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, in that moment, I mean, how are you reacting? Part of me thinks some people might just freeze. You're immobilized versus you're just rushing to get everything off the floor as quickly as you can. How did you react, Rachel?
It was the first time I've ever been in a flood, so we had to play back the footage for our insurance. So I should send it to you. I was just screaming. I was just trying to stop the water in the walls, not knowing what I was doing. I was wearing socks and I was just trying to kick out the water. I took a broom and I started sweeping water for some reason. I think I was just out of my mind, and I was trying to save whatever I could. And Caden was upset. He didn't know what was happening. He was crying and he was like, "My lighthouse is ruined. My lighthouse is ruined." And my husband was just telling me to, there's nothing we can do right now. Just it's coming in. And he ran outside to see what was going on the streets. And that's when we realized that all of Westminster was flooded. The water was just coming in.
Does Caden feel that this is his space? I mean, it bears his name.
Yeah, he does. He was worried about his friends. He said that when are his friends going to come back and play? He thought that we would be up and running the next day. So I had to bring him there and show him that we weren't ready for it yet. And then he cried a little bit. And then I don't know what to say. It's a struggle for him.
And what's the space like now? I think you're still waiting for news from insurance companies, but what's the state of the space right now?
Well, it's pretty much non-functional. Everything is just standing up. We've got dehumidifiers in there. We've got fans in there just trying to circulate the air. It smells. It's wet. The humidity is up. It's hard for us to see it this way. I can't even, it's just a disaster right now.
And so, Rachel, how do you approach the day every day knowing you have to roll up your sleeves? There's still lots to do there.
I go in daily. I collect the mail. I try to clean up whatever I can. I email people. I'm thanking people, for their support. People are still calling in well wishes, sending us Facebook messages and reaching out. I'm just trying to be there for our community, trying to be supportive of everyone, and looking forward to getting back on our feet.
What has the community outreach been like since this happened?
It has been so overwhelmingly beautiful. We are so grateful. We've received over 400 messages of support. People called us from Washington, from Vermont, all over Quebec, Ontario. Parents who haven't even visited us yet have reached out and said, "Hey, I was going to come see you guys, but when you get back on your feet, we're going to come see you guys. Oh, I heard what you guys do. We're here to help, and we have hammers, we have paintbrushes. We're all here to help you once you're ready to get back on your feet."
Rachel, you talk about that community and also people who have been using the space, as you described, as such a challenge for you to find a space for Caden 3 years ago before you created Caden's Lighthouse. So for the families who were coming, what are they doing now?
A lot of them haven't really been doing much this summer in terms of activities. It was already challenging enough as it was. A lot of the kids in our community didn't have spots in camps this year, or the camps were just not able to take care of their kids, or hiring extra staff was not in the budget. So a lot of the parents just kind of did activities closer to home, like the swimming pool or the parks, to whatever they can. But in terms of going to a space like ours, they haven't been able to find something.
You're looking at damage of upwards of $200,000. Rachel, what are you going to do?
Well, we were waiting for the insurance to kick in. It's been a month. It's just at a standstill. I can't give any of all the construction workers want deposits for the work, so we can't give that right now. So they're on hold. And everything's being delayed over there because they're taking other jobs as well. We haven't received any of the business interruption insurance, so we've been paying, obviously, our rent and our utilities out of pocket. We've organized a GoFundMe page to help us get back on our feet. And hopefully when the insurance steps in, we'll be able to reorder things. Plus, people are still on vacation, so that's been tough. But we remain hopeful.
Rachel, do you have a timeline, a sense of when you think, if all goes well, Caden's Lighthouse can reopen its doors?
I thought we would be open in September, but friends and family are telling me that it's not looking like that right now, and insurance hasn't gotten back to me yet on when we can start demolishing everything and rebuilding. I have no idea, unfortunately.
And what's the goal for the GoFundMe?
We're trying to raise $50,000 to help get those construction guys in there. And the $50,000 is supposed to cover the demolition, so ripping out the floors and ripping out the walls. And then hopefully that'll buy us some time to reorder all of the equipment from the UK and from Toronto. And I think that's about it right now.
Rebuilding. Rachel Ricci, thank you so much. Best of luck, and all our best to Caden as well.
Thank you, Sabrina. You're amazing.
Rachel Ricci, founder and owner of Caden's Lighthouse. It's a multi-sensory indoor playground that caters to children with autism. It was flooded last month in Montreal.